Alex, welcome to Team Durham TV, a fourth year physics student who plays quite an important role for Team Durham as you compete in not one but two university sports. How did that come about?
Well, I had an interest in table tennis and volleyball before I came, and I just basically signed up when I came here to the two teams and was lucky enough to get on the first teams, and I've just played ever since.
And I'm sure that's not a particularly easy task, competing in two sports on a weekly basis. How does that work on a Wednesday afternoon?
Well, it's with a bit of luck really. So it depends whether the home matches are for both teams, and then it's easy to organise that because table tennis is usually around 2 o'clock, volleyball is usually in the evening, 6 or 8, so that's fine. But when it's away matches, I'd have to hope for like the away matches are close to each other, or like they're both playing the same teams. Sometimes that's okay, but then sometimes it's just not possible. I had one experience though where I was in Newcastle, I think, for a table tennis match, and I had to get a train all the way to Leeds Met for a volleyball match, and by the time I got there it was actually cancelled. So that wasn't a great experience, but yeah, there's a lot of rushing around involved if I'm playing two matches on the same day.
Great stuff. Well, it seems that you do manage it well, and I have to ask you, if it's a choice between the two, do you like to go with volleyball or table tennis, or do you rotate the two?
Well, before I came here I would have said table tennis, but I've enjoyed volleyball a lot more since I've been at Durham, and at the minute the volleyball team is doing a bit better, so I think I would choose volleyball. So
as you mentioned, started volleyball 4 years ago. Tell us how the team's developed, because when you first came to Durham they were in Division 2, and you are now playing at the top end of Division 1, so how's that experience been?
Yeah, the coaching that came in has really helped the team. In my first year, a lot of the team was actually British, which is very different for a volleyball team because volleyball in England's not great. But we've got some good coaches, and players came in the second, third, fourth years, and they've really helped the team come on quite a bit. And some of the guys who was here with me in my first year have definitely came on a lot as well.
And volleyball, one of those sports to, should we say, benefit or being developed by the recruitment of some American athletes as players. How's that experience been?
I've really enjoyed it. It's just brought a higher level of players. It's just so much easier to learn from higher level players playing in higher level matches and having better training, more regimented. We get more practices now as well. I think it's improved us a lot. And the volleyball
club this season, how's the first team doing, and how do you think the rest of the season's going to go?
It's going alright. We have the two best teams in the country in our division, so that's been tough. But we've won most of our games, apart from the game against Northumbria and Sheffield Hallam, who were the top two teams last year. So I think our aim is to try and get amongst them and try and get into the final eights at the end of the year, and hopefully go from there.
Great stuff. And as for table tennis, I understand you're currently playing as the number one seed in the first team, so playing an important role there. How's the year gone so far on that?
The team's been doing well actually. We've won all our games apart from a 9-8 loss to Northumbria, which is close, so they're our main contenders, and hopefully on the return leg we'll be in amongst again and hopefully get it. And hopefully if we win that game we'll be the champions, because I don't see us losing any of the games apart from to them.
Brilliant stuff. Well, great sporting achievements. Just a little bit about your time here in Durham as a student. You haven't travelled too far to be here.
No.
Coming from Cramlington, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It's not too far away. It takes me about 45 minutes to get home.
And how is it being what we describe as probably a local student in Durham?
Yeah, I feel like sort of more part of the local community, I guess, but I still feel a student all the same. It's a very big student community here. You don't really feel very local or anything like that. It's just a bit closer at home.
Great, and you've been in Durham, as you said, for 4 years. Most people find it quite challenging balancing one sport and their academic commitments. You have to balance two. How do you find that?
Very hard. Yeah, it takes a lot of time management. I mean, especially this year, playing both the sports still and doing my fourth year project, which takes up a decent amount of time and is worth like a quarter of my degree nearly. So that's been challenging this year, trying to fit in all the trainings and matches. But yeah, you just got to work when you can, and just no time for procrastination really.
Great. And for young people in the region that are currently finishing off their A levels, would you recommend Durham?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's a nice community. It's a good place to get a degree, and I think the sporting here is top notch.
Brilliant stuff. Well, I hope the rest of the season goes well, and best of luck for the future.
Thank you.